So you're at a party. A house party, to be exact. It's a friend of a friend of a friend's place, so you know a bunch of people there. It's a fairly packed house. Plenty of people made it out tonight, but not too crowded. You've been there about an hour, so you're in a good place. Beer in hand, posted up in the kitchen. Somebody put on a very fire playlist on the speaker system, so you're in the zone. It's a very good vibe. You pre-gamed with some buddies before arriving, so you're pretty damn tipsy. Right where you need to be. You glance over across the room and see a group of people heading towards the back door that leads to the backyard. You're ready for a bit of fresh air, so you decide to see what's going on outside as well. As you step out onto the back deck, a cool evening breeze brushes the side of your face. You look up at a clear night sky, gleefully speckled with stars. What a night. You zoom back into focus, take a sip of beer, and there she is. Other side of the deck, conversing with a group. Oh my God. She smiles at something someone says, and suddenly you feel weightless. Her smile turns into a laugh, and you melt at the knees a bit. You take a final gulp from your bottle and drift over. By the grace of some higher power, 2 of your friends are there. You slide in next to them. They introduce you. Your eyes meet. Oh my God. Welcome to Stone Cold Moderation, a thinking man's journey toward a healthier relationship with alcohol. I'm your host, Chase Lee. Let's continue with our story. You chat amongst the group and trade pleasantries, but amidst the back and forth banter, your attention is entirely on her. You steal several glances her way, and each time there's eye contact, the warmth in your chest expands. Your hands are all tingly, her eyes are all sparkly. You think there might be something there. Let's take some fucking shots! The moment is hijacked by a voice-off coming from the other side of the deck. The group decides it a worthy proposal, so you all head inside. Fair enough. As you follow her inside, you ask her some banal question. Something about where she got her jacket or something. Stupid. Nice going, Casanova. But to your relief, she looks back and grins. She starts to play with her hair a bit. You try to appear calm and composed, but inside your head is whizzing. You head back into the kitchen, and someone passes out shots in plastic Dixie cups. Fireball whiskey. Thank God. This will help. After a round or 3 of those, the pace begins to pick up a bit. A game of old school flip cup has broken out on the dining room table, and in the adjacent living room, a dance party. Eventually your group drifts over to the dance floor, and by now the fireball has kicked in. All of a sudden, a classic banger comes on the speakers, and the room erupts in song. You move, you sing, and she stays near you the entire time. You're at ease in each other's presence, and the liquor has you loose. Sometime later, you find yourself back in the kitchen, taking a break from the living room festivities. You're face to face with her now, deep in conversation. A crescendo of activity surrounds you, but you're entirely locked in. You've had another shot, and now you're working on a mixed drink. You're turned up, drunk, but she doesn't seem to notice or care, so your spirit is soaring. You're in control of yourself, and the magnetic pull between the 2 of you is keeping you laser focused. You're enveloped in her aura, her eyes. Every slight change in expression, that rises from her cheeks and lips. Suddenly, you realize you really have to pee. Oh no. This is where it all comes crashing down. You feel a heat against your forehead. You hope she doesn't notice your blush. I'm going to the bathroom, and I'll be right back. Don't move. You try to sound slick, but you're actually begging, pleading. You scamper down the hall and are horrified to find there are 2 people waiting ahead of you. Yep, you blew it. She'll start talking to some other guy, probably someone taller than you, with flowy hair. You'll never be able to get her alone again. Hopefully you'll still be able to get her number at some point, and maybe she'll be willing to have lunch with you next week. Shit. Nice going, Casanova. After a brief eternity, you finally get in the bathroom. You try to go as quickly as possible. Your hourglass is running out. You look up at yourself in the mirror and can only shake your head. You're an idiot. God damn it. A minute later, you emerge from the bathroom and hustle back to the party, prepared for the worst. To your utter astonishment, she's still in the kitchen, talking to some other people. But not some mysterious, taller and darker and handsomer stranger. Praise Jesus. They're all about to take another shot. As you approach, she turns and sees you. She smiles and hands you a Dixie cup. There you are. We're doing another round, she invites. Relief melts off your shoulders and excitement once again tickles your stomach. After taking the shot, it's now or never. Hey, let's walk and get some fresh air, you offer. Okay, she beams. You glide over to the front door, and before grabbing the doorknob, you look back to see if she's following. She's right there. You're floating. Outside on the street, the chill of the night air is refreshing and invigorating. The silence is delectable. Your grin glitters from ear to ear. The moonlight glistens off her hair. You're pretty drunk, yes, but you're right here, present. You're a bit wobbly, but you keep moving one foot in front of the other. You walk down a block or 2, and you reach a park. There's a bench. Amazing. The 2 of you sit. Oh my God. It's just a matter of moments now. The conversation continues unbroken, but the words exchanged no longer hold much weight. You're both anticipating what's coming. You look up at the night sky again. The stars wink down at you. What a night. You return back. She's absolutely glowing. You shift toward her. Her gaze converges with yours. She smiles. She smiles. You lean in. Whew. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Quarantine has me feeling some kind of way. I guess a little bit nostalgic for things like that, for nights like that, moments like that in life that, yeah, kind of aren't happening right now, right? But I think the point of that story that I wanted to express is that I've had a lot of really, really good times in my life when I was drunk, right? On this podcast, I've told a lot of stories and a lot of horror stories of my drunkenness, as we all have, and obviously focused on a lot of the negative parts of my drinking experiences, so to speak. But there are a lot of really, really good times that have been had when I was drunk. And that's just a fact. And that I don't regret in the slightest. And not just times when I've like been at a party and I've met someone, so to speak, but I've had plenty of times when I've just been hanging out with friends and ended up getting drunk and had a great time. Um, and as I kind of illustrated in the story, drinking didn't ruin anything. Um, this is actually not a true story, but this is kind of like a snapshot based on moments that I have kind of experienced, right? When I was drunk, it didn't ruin anything. I still remembered everything. I was fully functioning. Um, and it's worth being said that yes, like alcohol, if you're at a party, can help you get into the flow. It can help you, we all know it lowers your inhibitions. Get in the flow. It can help you get off your feet and dance. Can help you feel more calm, more confident, at least at the start, right? And probably the next day after this story, for example, I probably wasn't terribly hungover and I probably wasn't filled with regret because I had lived such a great experience and had such a great night. And probably the dip in my mood was probably minimal. I've experienced that many, many times. So, it's not all horror stories when it comes to alcohol, right? I probably have experienced as many. No, I mean I've experienced way more good times than horrible times when I was drunk. I would definitely say that. So why have I cut down so drastically, and why do I barely drink now? Well, because clearly for me the cumulative effects of alcohol consumption um, became a massive negative in my life and vastly outweighed the positive aspects of drinking. Which leads me to my next thought of what is a benefit. When I've spoken to people in a lot of alcohol sobriety forums, Facebook groups, a common point that's brought up is like, what are the benefits of moderation? What are the benefits of drinking alcohol? There's no benefits. And I would tend to agree with that. I mean, alcohol certainly doesn't make you healthier. It's not going to make you taller. It's not going to help you lose weight. So in that sense, there's no clear advantages to drinking alcohol. What I have expressed in previous episodes of this podcast is that consuming alcohol produces a bodily pleasure for you. It releases dopamine in your brain. It puts you more at ease. It lowers your inhibitions. I mean, that's a fact. Drugs and alcohol feel good, right? Just like your teacher told you in 8th grade when you were in sex ed class. At least I had that, right? I remember that very clearly. Teacher being like, drugs and alcohol feel good. And then preface that into talking about, however, why they're very dangerous. And I wanted to have this conversation because in the next episode, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the effects of consuming alcohol and trying to get into some of the things that aren't as widely known or talked about and some things that are frankly pretty shocking. But before that, I wanted to talk about some of the quote unquote benefits. Okay. It produces a bodily pleasure. Yeah. I mean, you're at a party and sometimes in a social situation, it does give you courage if you're good and if you're nice and tipsy. It takes a lot less effort for you for you to go over and talk to the cute girl on the other side of the room. I'm not going to say it's a fact, but generally speaking, I think it's kind of common knowledge, right? Dutch courage, right? That's where that comes from. That's definitely real to an extent. Is that a benefit, so to speak? I guess I'll leave that for you to decide, but it's definitely an effect, and it definitely motivates people to drink, and especially a lot of the young men out there who spend a lot of time and energy trying to approach girls, and alcohol can kind of help, right? And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. The last thing I wanted to talk about before transitioning here is I have read some books and had some conversations with people who have um, insisted upon arguing that alcoholic drinks are disgusting and they're repugnant and they taste horrible. And I know for me that's not true. I personally like the taste of alcoholic drinks. I love beer. I love wine. I can I remember my first drink and I was probably like 15 at a party my sophomore year of high school, and somebody handed me, I think it was like a 40 ounce of like Miller High Life or something like that. And that was like my first real drink of alcohol. And I was trying to impress people, so I like gulped it down. And I had smelled beer before, so I was kind of prepared for what it was going to taste like. But I remember really liking it. I remember just really instantly liking the taste of beer. I hate like soda. I don't like a lot of sweet stuff. Um, and yeah, I mean, I've just always really liked the taste of beer and wine. I like the taste of whiskey. I like the taste of tequila. I like cocktail. I like cocktails. So at that point, I've never understood why people want to argue that alcoholic, like it's impossible for somebody to enjoy the taste of an alcoholic beverage. I think that's ridiculous. No, like they're delicious for a lot of people. Obviously, alcohol in itself is like pure alcohol is like it's poisonous. Obviously, you can't drink it. It's rubbing alcohol. That'll burn your insides. But alcoholic drinks, which are obviously diluted, heavily diluted, for me taste great. And so that, yeah, I have to disagree with people who believe that. Um, and I know there's a ton of people out there who actually like the taste of alcoholic drinks, and that's why I still drink. I still drink non-alcoholic beer. I have Heineken Zero in my fridge at all times because I still like the taste of it. All right, wrapping up this episode for today. What I will say is this: I had many fun drunk experiences, right? That I don't regret in the slightest. But also obviously had terrible experiences while drunk, but also had many times where I was sort of in the middle, where because I was too drunk and because the drunkenness kind of like distracted me from the moment and what was going on, that I actually wasted opportunities to have a good time and wasted opportunities to meet someone, for example, or meet new people. And more, yeah, and more importantly, I've had times when I've met somebody or had an opportunity for meeting somebody in a romantic sense, and I fucked it up because I was too drunk. Because was I drank too much and I ended up throwing up or something, or I had to go pee too many times, and then they ended up talking to somebody else, or just the fact that I was so drunk and I got distracted, and because when you're drunk you don't think about what you're doing, you just get oblivious. Um, so I've had plenty of those moments too. So it for me kind of brings up the question: can you still have a lot of fun moments, a lot of memorable moments, amazing moments, like I illustrated in the story? Can you do that sober? And for me, I'm adamant that yes, you can. Adamant about it. Yes, it can happen. And it might take, honestly, practice to be able to, again, function in social situations, but it's possible. Really interesting excerpt from a book that I'm reading right now called Alcohol Explained by William Porter. I'll leave a link to that in the show notes. But he describes what it's like when a child shows up to a party, right? We've all seen this. Little kid, 5 years old, shows up to like a birthday party and is crying, doesn't want to talk to the other kids, is like hiding behind his or her parents, super timid. Within 10 minutes, they start to loosen up. They start to feel more comfortable. Within 30 minutes, they're running amok, making friends with everybody, screaming, having the time of their lives. 2 hours later, when their parents are like, "Okay, little Susie, time to go home," they freak out. They have a tantrum. I can't say it. They have a tantrum because they don't want to leave, right? We've all seen this. I used to work at summer camp. See this like every day. When they get to camp, they're super nervous, and within 10 minutes they're having the time of their life. And if we as adults can kind of get back to that, then I think we can still function in these social environments sober. Because it's true, when you first get somewhere that maybe you haven't been before, you feel nervous, you feel social anxiety. Everybody feels it. It's normal. And what we normally do is we get a couple of drinks to loosen up, because it makes it so much easier to loosen up, to get past those uncomfortable feelings of feeling nervous and awkward. If we can just get past that, if we can just find a way to just get through the first 10 minutes pragmatically, you can actually do that. If you can just get through the first 10 minutes, then you're kind of in the clear, and then you find this kind of whole new world of experiences, the exhilaration of being sober in these situations. So again, I digress. I think you can do it sober, and you can meet people when you're sober, and you can approach members, you can approach potential significant others sober as well. I think you can do it. Again, could take a little bit of practice, but being pragmatic about it can be achieved. A Dream by Edgar Allan Poe. In visions of the dark night, I have dreamed of joy departed. But a waking dream of life and light hath left me broken-hearted. Ah, what is not a dream by day, to him whose eyes are cast on things around him with array, turned back upon the past. That holy dream, while all the world were chiding, hath cheered me as a lovely beam, a lonely spirit guiding. What though that light, through storm and night, so trembled from afar? What could there be more purely bright in truth's day star? This has been the Stone Cold Moderation Podcast with Chase Lee. Thanks for listening. Make sure to check out the complete show notes of this episode on stonecoldmoderation.com, where you can learn more about us. For access to more content, please subscribe to our YouTube channels, check us out on all other social media platforms, and make sure to tune in next time. We'll be talking about the physiological and psychological effects of alcohol consumption.